Hello.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well today. Welcome to the
Good.
podcast.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, no problem. That is not you. I thought that was you standing next to me. I'm like, your character is very
Oh,
different today.
oh, that's probably Serenity. Yeah.
So I've been wanting to have you on this podcast for a while now, and I'm happy that you're here today. And
Right. We tried a few times and just scheduling.
But at least it's happening. That's the good thing. So, go ahead and let everybody know who you are and what you do.
Ooh. Um, I am Bevarooni. I am a mobile and Roblox game developer. I've been in the gaming industry for probably I'm aging myself, 18, 19 years minimum.
Wow.
Started out with the first games we developed were on Facebook. We had a very popular pet game that did quite well, and quite a few others. I think on Facebook we developed about 18 games. EA ended up buying out our studio, and that's when we switched over and made a mobile studio. So we've been doing mobile games for about the past 11 years, 12 years.
Wow.
And then COVID happened. And during COVID, we decided to work on a passion project in our spare time because everyone had a lot of that. Um, and that's where RoPets kind of came from. Was our we made it as a passion project, but then we decided to push it live. It's actually based on our popular pet game that we developed on Facebook 18 years ago from the studio that EA had bought out. That's what it's based on. There are a little similarities to other pet games on Roblox, but that was definitely not our inspiration. If
Oh,
you
okay.
compare the two, if you compare the two, we do get a lot of people saying, and I just want to be clear, that's not the case. Um, if you look back to our original, almost like the game mechanics, everything, even the mayor is all from there. So, yeah, that's kind of how we came to Roblox. It was never originally an intended business move. It was just, oh hey, we have some time, let's make this cool game, and yeah, here I am, and I'm still here.
That's cool.
4 years later, I think. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I'm hopping into
that's pretty
RoPets
who I
now.
am. Okay. I'm
Yeah.
also, personally, I'm a mother of 18-year-old twin boys. So between work and developing and that, I keep myself fairly busy.
That's interesting. So, yeah, when I started playing RoPets, I also assumed what others are assuming that it was similar to
Right,
another top game.
right,
And
right.
what's
Yeah.
the name of the game that you sold, or the
Pet
that's
society.
Pet Society?
A pet society.
Is it
Yeah, we had
still
like millions.
is it
No,
still going or
no,
no?
no. So, oh, my dog. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
No, no. So EA bought out the studio, and then they closed down all the Facebook games. Gaming on Facebook is just not there anymore.
Yeah.
People kind of changed over to mobile. So
Yeah, when I first got on
no.
Facebook, the big thing on there was Farmville.
Yeah, yeah, that was around the same time
Mm-hmm.
as
And
when we were there. When we had other games too, there was Restaurant City. There was a bunch. And
mm-hmm.
then before, like when EA bought out our studio, well acquired, we actually developed titles for EA. So we developed Sim Social and some of their sport games also for them.
That's cool.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah. It was fun.
so now you're with Super Solid, and
Right.
how's that
Our
going?
Oh, good. We have I won't mention them all, but we have 6 live games, mobile
Okay.
games that we've had starting back to 13 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Was our first one. Those are all still live. We've pulled back a bit on Roblox. We did develop 3 titles, which I know we'll probably talk about after, but
Mm-hmm.
um, we've pulled back on developing on Roblox. It just, for us as a mobile studio, our overhead cost is extremely high, and it just didn't make sense when, from a business standpoint, where mobile, we put our resources back into mobile, basically, it is what we've done. But the games are still there. They're in what is called maintenance mode. So
Mm-hmm.
that means they're still there. We haven't forgot about them. If something major goes wrong, they get updated, obviously, and fixed. We are in the works, I'll say, of like, especially RoPets is very dear to us.
Mm-hmm.
I guess because it's kind of how a lot of us started our career together. Like, a lot of us have been together the entire 18 years. So we've been looking at, we have somebody who's probably, I can't concrete at this point, but who's taking over the development of RoPet. So it's not forgotten about. It's just a very long process.
Yeah.
To get all, to do all the legal side, I guess, of all of that. And we still have ownership, so the game will still be exactly what our community loved about it. Just
That's good.
somebody else will be managing the development side of updates and stuff like that,
That's good.
with
That'll make a lot of people
us
happy.
overlooking it. Yeah, yeah, exactly. And it's hard for me because I know people tag me and everybody wants an update, and I just, for business reasons, I just can't at this point really say a lot until it's finalized, because
Mm-hmm.
things happen. I'm very careful with what I say, is not to get people's hopes up and then have to say, oh, it didn't work out, sorry.
Yeah. No, that's understandable. Um, yeah,
Yeah.
I remember trying to bug you on Twitter, asking you to do at least bring back the old Christmas update so I can make another Christmas movie on here.
Right. The updates are still there. I mean, I could say that it's in the process that I started handing over information to help with um, the new developers. But again, I can't guarantee anything.
Yeah.
I'm very cautious until the first update actually happens. At that point, then I will be willing to say it's a go. Yeah.
Well, that's exciting.
I'm,
Is
yeah, I'm
this
excited about it.
is this something that has
it.
already been spoken to the public, or is this the first time you're talking about it?
This is the first that I've really said more than something is in the works. Yeah,
All right, that's cool.
you're the
So,
first.
well, I'm honored. Thank you. That's really cool. I think that will make a lot of people happy. But like you said, don't get your hopes up yet. It's still in the works.
Yeah,
Nothing in
it
stone.
actually probably made me more happy than anybody else. I actually, Roblox to me, like I've developed on many different platforms, and it, Roblox is by far my favorite, not because of the tools or the platform, because we still develop like we're mobile developers. Like, we don't use Roblox assets, their tools, their scripts, nothing. Everything, obviously, we did ourselves. But
Hmm.
the community is what hooked me. I never got involved in any other platforms community other than, obviously, I overlook my main role. Um, the team I overlook. So there's 6 or 7 of us now that each overlook a certain department. Mine is community, social media, player support, and,
Mm-hmm.
and social media. Um, so obviously the community to me, like I actually got involved in the Roblox community, not because I had to, because I have teams who do that, but I wanted to, and I literally fell in love with the RoPets community.
Yeah, there's a
So
lot of
it's been
great
hard
people.
for me to leave, and I'm still here, even though like I don't work on it every day anymore. I'm still here in the community
Mm-hmm.
because I just got so attached to people.
Yeah, there's a lot of great
Yeah.
people in the Roblox community, and I've met a lot of great
Yeah,
people here in the RoPets community.
right. Even the developers, like I was very cautious coming in because, um, and this is just my personal opinion, from what I observed, is I find a lot of studios, we are a studio, um, to Roblox, and they know better. They're going to show how it's done. They're going to do this. They're going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And they kind of sideline the value that the development community on Roblox has, where I kind of take a different approach. I sat back and I learned from the people who built this, basically, is how I seen it. I didn't think because I'm a mobile developer that I'm going to show you how this is done right, because it's completely different. And I do feel that's an error a lot of studios that come in, to do branded games or whatever, make when they come to the platform. Simon Blocks, I don't, or not Simon Blocks, Simon.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you know him, but he's the developer of Sharkbite, um, and a few other games. He's been in the community a very long time. He was my first developer friend, and he really, like, I'm giving him a bit of a shout out right now because he really, really um, taught me a lot and kind of helped me find my way in the
Mm-hmm.
community. I'm just rambling on. I'm
No,
sorry.
keep
I'm
going,
just
keep going. We like to
trying
listen.
to.
Anything
Yeah,
you want to say, we like to hear it. Um,
yeah, that's good.
so I'm just as you're talking, I'm just pretty much showing off RoPets in the background for those that are
Right,
actually watching the video. A lot of people they just listen in the background, but some people they like to actually watch.
right.
And I
Watch it.
just
Yeah,
the amount of detail in the pets, the amount of detail in the
right,
map, and the amount of detail in everything. None of this is
right.
Roblox assets, like you said. All of this is
Right.
made from
No,
scratch.
absolutely. Like we have, and this kind of ties back into what I was saying, that the overhead costs for us. So,
Mm-hmm.
like on a pet, there's the modeler, the designer, the animator alone, on one pet. And because of the detail that goes into, us making things, for example, just that side of it, it's very timely. Like we can't pump out 20 pets in a week.
Yeah.
It's not possible. Like the animations alone for us, um, take a week alone for one pet. Like it's at least.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just very different. It doesn't make one better than the other. It's just a different process, and made it harder for us to appeal, on a wide range. One thing I learned about the Roblox community is they like lots of content fast. And I think the reason for that is there are so many different games right there they can play to get that, rush
Yeah.
of something new, that you almost have to do that to be big on Roblox. And it just wasn't possible for us without, I mean, I shouldn't say it wasn't possible. It's possible, but then we're changing who we are
Mm-hmm.
as developers, and it just, yeah.
Yeah. The amount of time going into just making one pet is a lot. And a lot
Right.
of people who play
Right.
games don't realize that, it's not like just print it out and it's done, you know. You
Right, right. And it's not their fault. I mean, they just don't understand,
Yeah.
the back part of it. But, you know, and how do you explain to them?
Yeah.
It's not very easy to really go into detail and explain, to players. And I mean, I get that. I mean, I wished we could have,
Hmm.
thrown a lot more in. We still like we worked in you don't know it because you just see the updates, but we all worked like 16, 18-hour days on RoPets because we
Wow.
still like even for me, RoPets wasn't my only thing.
Hmm.
I mean, I still have 6 other games on mobile that I have teams on
Yeah.
that I have to overlook. And that's like, so it was, but I didn't want that to kind of interfere with what I put into the RoPets community because they're really special. And I
Hmm.
keep saying that, but they just were very, um, you know, any game you're going to get some, trolling, whatever. But it was overall a very family friendly, positive community.
Yeah.
And tried my hardest to ensure that we kept it that way.
Hmm.
Again, no community is perfect. um, but yeah, for the most part, I think that's the biggest comment people make about row pets. I mean, yes, the pets are good, the animations are super cool, but the community, and that's really our biggest compliment we could get as a studio is, yeah, you do good work, but the community is awesome because that means that we're kind of achieving what we set out to do.
Hmm.
It's just to make a fun game for everyone to play.
Yeah, and it really was fun. I loved the events. I believe the
Right.
last event was the Chinese New Year.
For, I think Christmas. Did I do a Chinese New Year? I can't remember right
Yeah, it
now.
was the one
I
with the
maybe.
Azure Dragon.
Oh, right. Yeah, yeah. Where I put the oversized dragon over by the. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a mini event. But Christmas was the last big event
Yeah,
we
the
did.
last big
Correct.
event
Yeah.
was Christmas.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was when I recorded the Blox family movie with the kids.
Right. That's when you won a giveaway too.
Yeah,
I
and
remember you won.
yeah,
I think you won.
I won
You
all the
won
pets in the
everything in
game.
the game, right? Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah. All the
that's
pets, the houses, the
yep.
vehicles. Yeah.
That was a very
That was
generous
good.
giveaway. And that's something I wanted to say
It's
for the people watching is they'll probably get into the game and be like, I don't have all that. I just want to say I won every single pet in the game. And that's why
right.
I have everything in
Right.
my inventory.
Right. And I think people will notice too, though, it's not hard to get
Hmm.
things in our game. We develop differently than, again, a lot of Roblox games. We don't have a lot of game passes. Anyone can achieve anything in the game, any of the pets. If you're impatient and you don't want to wait to, get the eggs and open them, you
Hmm.
can buy them in the pet store for Robux, but you don't have to. Every pet you see there has 11 versions that you can
Hmm.
hatch from an egg. So
And
it's very free to play. Very
when
free
I
to play.
when I started playing this game, like pretty much any game that I'm like really interested in and want to start playing, the very first thing I look at is game passes. And when I started playing this, I'm
Right.
like, where's the game passes? Where's the pay to
Right.
win stuff? And there's not a
Right.
lot in
Eh,
here.
No, that's just not how we develop, and we wanted to stay true to how we develop.
Hmm.
Again, it doesn't make, other people wrong and us doing it the right way. It's just our way. Um, is everyone can earn anything in the game. You may have to work a little harder for it,
Yep.
obviously, but you can get it. It's obtainable.
Yeah, and it's really like it's really cool. And
Right.
I enjoyed playing it. I would hop on every time Lulu will be on and play with her, and
Right.
like
I,
these pets are very detailed, like
right.
better than pretty much any other game I've played on Roblox.
Right. They're different.
Yeah, and
They're
very
different.
lively, very animated, like the
Right.
mouth,
Our
the eyes.
animator, yeah, the animator that we had put on RoPets, his name was Mike. He was amazing. Like
Hmm.
he is amazing, not was. I mean, he's just amazing at what he does. You know, it's funny. One of our most underrated features in the game, which was really hard to kind of get people to know about, is our trading center.
Hmm.
So one thing that is different that no other Roblox game had done, I don't know if they have now, at the time was you don't have to be online to do a trade. You literally
Hmm.
put your trade in the trading center, you log out, you do your stuff, come back the next day. If it got traded, you know, for what you were looking for or whatever, it literally pops up on your screen to claim. And
Yeah.
I really thought that one would kind of go over well. It's not that it didn't, it's just very hard to explain to people that, hey, it's got this cool feature. You know, everyone loves trading. You don't even have to be
Hmm.
online. So, yeah, that to me is our most underrated feature.
Yeah, the trading in this game is actually not it's similar to something I've been suggesting to big games with their plaza,
Right,
is having an
right,
exchange where I could go into the plaza, list something that I want to sell for let's say, I don't know, let's say a crystal key. I want to sell 1,000,000 crystal
right,
keys for 10,000 gems each. I log off, and then people could buy portions of those keys while I'm logged off. I don't need to stay online.
right,
And then people
right,
could easily, like, if I go in and I want to buy crystal keys for 11,000 or 9,000 each, and I put in that I want to buy it, it'll instantly buy all the ones that are for sale for 9,000
right.
each, and then wait until there's more for sale for 9,000 each. It's a
Right. I think that's a super cool feature. Yeah,
yeah, it I got
I'd
the
use
idea
it.
from RuneScape. It's how they do their
Yeah.
grand exchange.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And it's very convenient for like finding a lot of stuff quick.
Right. Yeah.
And but
I mean,
I
you still can in RoPets do one-to-one trading. That is
mhm.
there.
Yep.
Still, the trading center is just an added onto that if you
Yeah,
don't want to do one-to-one trading.
it's
Yeah.
good for like finding specific pets that someone in your server
Right.
might not have.
Right.
And I've done a lot of
Right.
trading on it, and most of my trade history is just me giving stuff away for free. Just randomly,
Right.
I randomly
Absolutely.
join this game like every once in a while, and then just ask people what's your dream pet, and I'll just give it to them because
Right.
I
That's
won every
nice.
single pet in
Yeah.
the game, and I don't use them all, so I
I
just
got it. Yeah.
give
Absolutely.
away all the pets. But this, what do you think about Roblox in this game is the reason why it didn't take off as it should have? Because I feel like this game should be bigger than the other game that people are thinking.
I actually now have a very simple answer. I think it's just too different.
Hmm.
You know, by that I mean not a, like, a bad game. I mean, you look at it,
Are
you
you
know, we know
cutting out a little bit?
the game.
You're cutting out a little
We
bit.
know it. Oh, I don't know why my phones. Am I still?
Talk a little bit.
Okay. Um, ooh, now I lost my train of thought.
I'm sorry.
Oh, wait. Okay, why it didn't take off, right? I was trying to remember. I get up at 3 in the morning, so I've slept like 3 hours, so my brain doesn't always
Yeah.
connect right away. Um, it's, yeah, I was saying it's just different. As in, Roblox players like certain aspects in their gameplay, and that's something I've learned.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, certain mechanics that how a game looks, it doesn't really matter much on Roblox. It doesn't matter if your game has the best pets, for example. I'm not saying ours does, but just an example. Um, it's more, you know, quantity
Mm-hmm.
over that. They want, lots of adrenaline. They like they like, believe it or not, paying Robux for things like special limited pets and stuff like that,
Yeah.
which I personally struggled with a lot putting in RoPets because I just like everybody to be able to have a chance to obtain. I don't like excluding people,
Mm-hmm.
and that's a me issue. um, so yeah, I think overall, it's just too different.
Yeah.
You know, and I see the trend with other similar studios that come on, too. Like I take a lot of time trying to understand and learn things because I don't feel I have all the answers. I don't think I know everything, and I really spent a lot of time, okay, this is not maybe it. Why? So, seeing what other games do and understanding, okay, well, as a whole, this is what type of gameplay the Roblox community, likes. And I think it's just looked too mobile. It didn't look like a Roblox game.
Mm-hmm. And do you think that's a negative thing for a game coming onto Roblox?
I I think it's kind of there's an in between. Um, in hindsight, I can say there's an in between where you can do like a robots RoPet style game, a RoPet style game, but incorporate more of Roblox style into it at the
Mm-hmm.
same time to kind of get that, that happy medium. And again, had we been developing RoPets as an actual like, okay, we're going to develop on Roblox, blah blah blah. Oh, can you tell I'm tripping over my words now?
Yeah.
Then we probably would have had a different approach and probably would have designed a little bit differently. But
Mm-hmm.
because it was a passion project, it wasn't, you know, uh, let's see what everyone
Oh,
else is doing.
sorry about that.
Let's see what the community likes. Oh, that's okay. It was more, this is their passion. Like we were doing this for fun during COVID. We couldn't go anywhere. We couldn't do anything, you know, let's just make it. And then we published it type thing. So yeah, the outcome may have been different.
Mm-hmm.
And if I was to do it all again, I would definitely do things differently. But I'm not disappointed in how RoPets did. I mean, another misconception to people is they think because a game has big numbers that it's a successful game. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't always work that way. Like you can have low numbers and still make as much as a game with much higher numbers as a developer. It did okay. I mean, obviously, everyone wants their game to be front page and top of it. It's just not the reality on Roblox,
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately. But yeah, I'm
Yeah,
not sour about it.
I never knew it was like that. I thought just the
Yeah.
top games on the front page, the ones with, like 50,000 or more players, those are the only ones making any actual, not going to say
No,
profit, but
not
like big
really.
money.
Yeah, no, no, not really. No. I mean, the whole front page algorithm is a whole other conversation. But um, yeah, it's. I mean, for an indie, like for a team that is just someone developing on Roblox, has a scripter, has a modeler, maybe one other person, RoPets would have made them a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only way I can. Um, I mean, I'm not going to get financial numbers, but that's the reality of it. Where as a mobile studio, our teams are 12 to 13 people doing stuff. And the cost is, they're not paid depending how the game does.
Hmm.
They're paid from our mobile studio as a mobile developer. So the cost is much higher. It just didn't make sense. But yeah.
Yeah, it's a you gotta balance it out. You gotta make sure it,
Right, right.
and which is why you had to stop production of it or
Right. And,
developing for it.
I don't want to discourage developers, people from developing on Roblox, because I think it's an amazing platform, especially for people who, you know, just want to develop. They want to try it out. Like they have all the
Hmm.
tools, they have all the learning. And you know this because I know you're working on something right now, which I'm super
Hmm.
excited about.
Thank you.
Um, but it's the perfect platform for that. And you can still make money with a small game. Like
Hmm.
it's worth it. I don't want to sound like I'm trying to discourage anyone from developing on Roblox unless they can make a big hit game because that's just not
Look at Grow a
reality.
Garden, for example.
Right,
That is such a
right,
basic game, and it has over
right,
400,000 people on it right now.
right, right. I mean, again, though, that's great. They have that many. They're probably making good money, I'm
Hmm.
sure, on it too. But again, it's all about you can have less players. Like you don't need to have 400,000 players to make the same amount of money they're making. It all depends on, how your game economy is set up. It depends on your players. Like who is your audience? Is it kids? Is it adults like us who
Hmm.
play Roblox? People make fun of us.
And
No,
another game that you have on Roblox
right,
is Eternal Heroes, and it is one of the most
right,
gorgeous games on the Roblox platform. And when you guys
right,
released it, I played it a lot. I had a lot of fun, and I really
right,
thought this was gonna be like the biggest game on Roblox. And right now,
right.
I'm the
It
only
should
person
have
on it
been,
right
in
now.
my opinion.
It what?
It should have been.
Yes.
It should have been, in my opinion. And I mean, again, that's just because it just didn't fit on the platform. And that was a game fun game. So
Hmm.
that we worked with Roblox to create that for Roblox.
Okay.
Um, and again, it's just the like Roblox is aging up. I think it's great. Yeah,
Hmm.
I mean, I've seen it over the past 4 years. The kind of switch, especially with playing Pet Sim. All the adults who are now playing Roblox were pre-COVID. This was not the case. It was predominantly kids, like my kids. You
Yeah.
know, playing it. It is aging up.
Hmm.
And that's a good thing, but it just wasn't there yet when we released Eternal Heroes. Um, to for that to happen.
Do you think Eternal Heroes
Again,
will
it's not
eventually
a
have a
forgotten
comeback?
about. I think it could. I don't rule anything out. Because especially with Roblox, a game can have no players for a year or two, and then suddenly there's you know 5,000 players, and you're like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't rule anything out.
Yeah, this game definitely deserves way more
Right. It
attention.
needs a lot. Right. It does. There's a lot of features missing. Like when you do a game fun game, you have a date to launch, right? Like
Hmm.
it. I can't go into all the details, but that's just kind of how it works. So the plan was we'll launch it, you know, um, kind of. It's kind of how we develop also all our games is we build the core game, and we did this with RoPets. For people who played from day one will know this, is we build the core game, the gameplay, we launch it. We
Hmm.
do this on mobile, like I said, also. And then we listen to the community, the people who are playing the game. What do they want? What do they want to see in the game? What do they want to play? What features? What, you know, We try not to, although we're developing our games and our design ideas and what we want, we try to develop the game for the community
Hmm.
because they're the ones playing it. So that was kind of the plan with Eternal Heroes. Yeah, but that's just not how it ended up going. So, but uh, I'm not going to say it'll never be back.
I think it. I think if some big content creator go ahead and make a video
Right,
on games
right,
like there's a lot of content creators that like to go to games that have no players and
right,
try reviving or installing a community onto that game. Like this game deserves a lot more love than it's getting. And
right,
so they come on here and make a video about it, and then out of nowhere you have, 10,000 people
right,
playing it. So I'm sure if
right.
someone, go ahead.
Right. If they want to play it, they will. And that's kind
Hmm.
of, been my approach. Like I am friends with a lot of big influencers, but I would never ask anyone to make a video on my game. I understand the influencer side of it also,
Hmm.
where they need to do what's going to bring them views and bring in people and make them the money. That's
Yep.
what they do. So I'm just not the type to go to someone and say, "Hey, hey, Nightfox, will you make a video on my game?" Like it's just I find it wrong. Like I'm not friends with them for that reason, if that makes
Yeah.
sense. So I try to kind of keep that line where they know I have a game. Any of my friends who are influencers, if they want to play it, they will. Like I don't feel differently if they don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
The
but yeah.
like with Night Fox, I know Night Fox is listening right now. He listens to every
Oh, is he?
episode. Yeah. Yeah, he loves the podcast.
Nightfox.
So
Yeah.
I
He's a
I
great guy, by the way. I like
got
Nightfox.
to put that in there.
That's right.
No, yeah, he's a great guy. I love talking to him. Very busy guy though. Very, very busy. And
Absolutely. He's a grinder.
an
Yeah.
opinion from someone like Night Fox is
Right.
huge. And
Oh,
let's
yeah.
I don't know if Night Fox has ever seen this game. This is probably the first time he's ever seen it. And if he was to come on here and play this game, I'm pretty sure he would say this is an excellent
Right.
game and doesn't understand why people
Right.
aren't playing it. I'm playing it right
Right.
now, but I'm playing versus bots. And
Right.
I remember you
Right.
guys did have a
Instead of
tournament.
teams.
Yeah.
Well,
I-
yeah, we had a tournament, but there's also teams. When you first load into the back, you can do 5-on-5 of your select teams. Team
mhm.
A, you walk in the circle. Team B players walk in the circle.
Mhm.
That tournament we did was with Fresh Cut. It was at the launch of it. That was fun. There was lots of people. Yeah,
Yeah.
well, a fair amount.
Well, how
Just,
much what was the reward again? I think it was what, 10,000 Robux each or something.
Oh, I think so. I don't remember. I'm sorry.
I know it was a
My brain.
I-
I'm trying to keep 6 mobile games and 3 Roblox games straight in my head, and I don't remember, but that sounds about right.
yeah.
That's about what it was. Yeah, yeah,
And one of the
absolutely.
mobile games that you have is a snake game. I played it and it was really fun.
Snake Rivals.
Snake
Yeah, Snake
Rivals.
Rivals. Yeah,
Yeah, that game was a lot of
yeah,
fun. Very detailed, just like Eternal
right,
Rivals. You guys go into a
right,
lot of detail with your games. They're really well made, very attractive. Like there's not
right.
a
Our mobile
location.
games do extremely well. Our
Hmm.
mobile games do extremely well. Like, I mean, and I'm not tooting our horn, but that's just the reality. Like on the Google Play Store, like just for comparison to, our Roblox games, like one game just on Google alone will have over 10 million downloads. Like our mobile games, that's what we do
Hmm.
well. That's kind of our thing. So, yeah.
And how many monthly players on mobile do you think you have?
Oh gosh, on all the games, I don't even have an estimate of that. A lot.
Is it in the
I
millions?
can oh yeah, absolutely in the millions. I
Wow.
mean, our Facebook game, mobile is very different though. So
Hmm.
developing on mobile, the overhead cost to actually make the game is a lot.
Yeah.
Like, and you're going into this investment with no guarantee, of any sort of payback on your
Hmm.
investment. And I mean a lot. If you think about it, you have a full team designing and developing a game for a year and a half on mobile. That alone, and then you have, your marketing cost, your user acquisition, um, to get the game kind of out there. You can't pay to be advertised in the Google or App stores. Like when you see games promoted, that's not paid for. They
Hmm.
have to decide to promote you. It's just a lot different. Like you're going into it, which is why I say that Roblox is so great for people who just want to learn how to develop or develop games. They just give you everything. Like they
Hmm.
pay for the servers. Like everything they give is it's just so different. But
Yeah.
yeah, there's millions of players a day. Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
So, like Google Play Pass, I think it's called. They you can't pay to get on there or anything. They have to
No,
decide.
so yeah, it's very fair to be honest with you the way they do it. Although, as a developer, you wish, well, can I just pay to get my game out there, in the App Store to be featured and whatever? And they do it, I believe, in a very fair way, and it's very different where you can be featured in the UK App Store, but you're not in the US App Store. Like it's by
Hmm.
country. Like there's all these breakdowns and stuff. And I think it's fair, but I mean, it's not that you can't pay for anything. You can't with the apps themselves, but like there's user acquisition, which is you're basically promoting the game in other ways, with separate companies to Google and Apple. So yeah, much different than Roblox. We struggled a lot with discovery.
Hmm.
And I do think it's not, that would be number two for me of why the games didn't take off. Discovery on Roblox is extremely hard if you're not known.
Hmm.
Doesn't matter how good your game is. Like you have to build that and have that rapport. It's not very often you see somebody new to the community developing a game and they have this hit game. Like
Yeah.
it is very important that connection to the community and being a part of the community, which anyone I know who's new developing on Roblox, it's one of the first things I tell them is be a part of the community, get to
Hmm.
know the community. They're
Yeah.
awesome. Like that's going to take you further than anything.
Hmm.
And that's the player and the developer community, not just the player community, but the developer community. Like if you treat them the way they deserve to be treated, they're going to help you, which is what I found. Like there's so many of them that have been very kind to me, and I'm very grateful, grateful for it.
Yeah, I know very little developers in the
Right,
Roblox community, but I know a few of them, and
right,
everybody's great. Everybody's supportive, and
right,
there's a few of them that I like to give suggestions for their games, and
right,
you know me, I'm very secretive about our game, and
right.
I've told you everything,
Uh,
not everything, but I've told you about almost everything about our game,
right.
and
And
I'm
I think everyone's going to really like it.
yeah,
I think it's going to do well. I do.
I
Yeah.
hope so. It's not originally what I was going to make as our first game, but
Right.
I decided, you know what, let's make the dream game first. And a lot of people say
Right.
never make your dream game first. Learn from your failures, then make your dream game.
Mm.
But I'm impatient. I want my dream
Yeah,
game now.
I agree with you. I mean, I think the most important thing is you have to do what you're passionate about. And I
Mm-hmm.
absolutely, if you haven't figured that out yet, I absolutely love what I do.
Mm-hmm.
Like I wake up every day. I mean, sometimes I'm really tired. I may not want to get up, but I love what I do.
Mm-hmm.
And I think when you're passionate about the project you're working on, like you said, your dream game, that shows in the game.
Mm-hmm.
When you're making it just because you have to, it's just not the same. You don't have that same drive, that same motivation. It's like, oh yeah, I got to do this. It's like, I agree with you. I think you're being smart about it.
Yeah, and with my developers, like I'm always like asking them if a certain part of the game is ready. Like, I want to see it. I want to see it. Or, is it ready? Is it ready? No, it's not ready. We're still working on it. Oh, come on, come on, come on. And I'm just like trying to. And then I'm like, what do you guys think about this idea? Oh, and they're like,
Yeah,
is this for launch or is this for for an update? I'm like, can we get it for launch? And then I'm just like pumping out ideas every single day. Like my brain is constantly thinking about
right,
different things I could do with this game. And
right,
I've said it before, one thing that I really really struggle with the whole game development and planning and all that is the interface. I'm horrible
right,
with interface. I cannot plan out an interface to save my life, but we finally got one
right.
made and it looks really really good,
Nice.
and I'm excited for people to see that. But like I'm just constantly just thinking about the game all day long, every day. And my developers, they're very passionate about the game as well. They love the idea, they love the game loop, and they're very excited for it to come out. But they're also taking their time to make sure everything is perfect. Like
Right,
there's Cookies, who's my modeler. He makes all the models for the
right.
game, and he went through all the models we have in the game so far, and he's like, "All right, I'm gonna remake all of these models over here because they're not perfect in my eyes." And I'm
Yeah,
like,
they don't need to be perfect. Not on Roblox. That's my comment earlier that they don't care.
"Yeah, I know a lot of people don't care about
Not in a
how."
rude way.
Yeah.
They won't notice it where we notice it because
Mm-hmm.
that's what we do. They
Mm-hmm.
don't
Yeah, and
at all.
that's one thing I was saying to Cookies when I was because I do a lot of building, and that's pretty much all I do. I do is building, and you know they make all the stuff, and I just place it where I want it to go. And
Right.
a few days ago, I was like, the place where players are introduced to the game. I'm like, I want it to be like a very scenic introduction to the game. So I'm like, instead of the spawn point being over here, let's put the spawn point over here. That way, when the players get into the game and they see it for the first time, they're going to be like, oh, wow, look at that. And so I'm just trying, I want players to look at the game first before they start
Right.
playing the game. And I think that's
Oh,
one. Go ahead.
I was just going to ask, when do I get to play?
Soon we'll have you on testing soon.
Awesome.
We are hoping for mid-July to launch the game. I
Okay.
just
For the
hired,
release? Okay.
yeah. Hopefully June we'll have testing, but mid-July is what we're
Right.
hoping to release the game. I just hired another
Okay.
scripter. I hired a full-time animator, rigger, and pretty much all I'm commissioning now is just visual effects and sound effects. Every other part of development has its own developer already working full time on the game.
Assigned. Yeah.
Yeah. And some what I was trying to get at with the last point I was making was with Pet Simulator, they have 99 worlds in World 1, but how many of those worlds that
Right.
people actually look at?
Right. I
You
don't go back to any of them.
you don't go back to
Um,
any of them, and you barely even
unless
look at them.
unless I have to. I actually very much admire their modeler builder
Mm-hmm.
for the world maps. I do as a developer. I look because I notice these things, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
pretty sure the average player just kind of doesn't. It's just kind of like, let's go through, as much slack as Pet Sim gets for certain things. Um, I think they do a lot of things good and right
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
their game, which is why I enjoy playing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My opinion on their their game is they don't add too much fun to the game. They add a lot of pretty
Right.
cool mechanics. They add a lot of the events can be fun when you first start playing it, and then it's
Right.
just like this one. This one was fun at the beginning, but for the rest of the week, it's just all right. Let's watch the pets wiggle
Right.
around this chest for a week, and
Right. I, I think for them, it's very, and this is one of the things that will defend them on. They pump out a lot of updates
mm-hmm,
with a lot of content. And I think for them, it's probably more difficult to kind of appease their entire community because you have such a wide range of players, like a big player base that is such a wide range, and you know, kids. Like
mm-hmm,
it's just they're trying to appeal to the people who make them the money, and there's nothing wrong with that. They
mm-hmm.
got to do that, or else they're not going to be developing. But then also free to play players, and it's not easy to find that kind of middle ground
Yeah,
of what's going to keep everyone happy. Like working people like the away from keyboard, a
mm-hmm,
lot of them,
yeah,
people who can't be at home. All, even me, like I'm fortunate, I work from home and travel to London for work. I just away from keyboard my game all day while I'm working.
yeah,
And I like that. Where other people who maybe don't have to do that, want more gameplay, more fun, more, ways to things to do in the game. But I do understand what you're saying and I
mm-hmm.
agree, but I also think that it's probably very hard for them
Yeah.
to
I'm
accomplish
of
that.
both. I'm of both arguments. I want more gameplay, and
Right.
I also love the AFK. And
Right.
you know, the AFK should always be part of the game. I'm not saying it should be lessened. I really appreciate
Right.
having the ability to AFK the game all week and all that, but when I actually want to actively play the game, you know, like the pet games, everybody loved pet games. The pet games event, that
Right.
was amazing, and I wish they would have kept it in the game because if me and my friends don't want to just sit here hatching an egg or breaking a chest all day long, we could just go have fun in the pet games for a few hours and play that. Take out the rewards.
Was
That
that your
way,
favorite event? Was,
of
was
all
that
the
your favorite
events,
event?
yes. Yes. Pet games
Yeah.
was my favorite
Yeah.
event out of all of them.
Pet
The
games, you
second
mean
one, no.
Squid Games, right?
Yeah.
You mean the Squid Game? Yeah, same, absolutely. Especially as a clan,
Mm-hmm.
we had so much fun. Going together as a clan and playing these games. That by far was my favorite, also.
Yeah, and
Absolutely.
always
I
picking the
mean, I
same
got a
person to
little
go on the
bit.
bridge.
I got a little bit sick of the some of the lines that kids would say in their mic, but I just muted it, and as a clan, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I've
every time
seen this before, or whatever it was. I
I've
don't
played these
even
games
remember
before
at
or
this
something like
point,
that.
but oh yeah, that's it. Yeah, yeah. I was like, oh my god, if I hear that one more time, I'm gonna lose it.
And then you got
Yeah,
everybody
but it
say
was
on the
fun.
then you got everybody on the glass bridge saying, "Oh, it's the left one. It's the left one." Then someone jumps on the left one, and they're like, "Ha, it wasn't the left one."
Yeah.
I would never go
What was your
first.
least favorite? See, now I'm
Least
podcasting you. What was your least favorite?
least favorite event? Um,
Yes, I'm trying to
honestly,
think. I don't know.
there's been way more events than anything in this game. So,
Right.
um,
I don't like events that are every hour. You got to come back every hour. I don't like those
yeah,
events
you
on a
know,
timer like that.
yeah,
I
I
don't.
really liked the reindeer raid, but I hated that it was every 2 hours. So,
Right.
in the middle of the night,
Right.
I was waking up every hour and a half, so I'm like at least
Yeah.
somewhat awake so I could do the raid, and I was barely getting any
Right.
sleep. I was very sleep deprived during that event, and that was during a
Right.
clan battle
I,
as well.
right. I very much love that they've done these Titanic leaderboard things now. And
Hmm.
that's fun for me because it's all just grinding away from keyboard and strategy. Like I'm a believer, you don't have to spend a ton of money to make the leaderboard. You just got to strategize. And I'm huge on strategy. Even when I play Pet Sim, people would be, "How do you strategize the pet game?" And I'm like, "Oh, you can."
Yeah, for you to make like the top, was it top 43 where you get a rainbow or you get a shiny or a rainbow
Yeah.
shiny,
Yeah. You
those you
probably
gotta pay to win a
spend.
lot.
Yeah.
A
Yeah,
lot.
yeah, absolutely. But for the average player, anyone can make the leaderboard. Like
Yeah.
it's very fairly done where it's top 10,000, and I'm quite happy with a regular Titanic.
Yeah, me this with this current event, I'm not trying at all. Like I'm ranked
Right,
1346 right now. I'm not getting a Titanic, and I'm perfectly fine with that.
right,
One, this Titanic is very creepy with those eyes. And two, for me to stay on the leaderboard, I'm gonna have to spend some gems on those boosts, and I'm just
right.
not willing to do that. And
I haven't even seen the Titanic. I think it's the Golem, isn't it? Though the
yeah, Easter
that
Golem.
pet. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's
think I'm
creepy.
like 360 or something like that. But
Oh wow.
yeah, yeah, lots of grinding.
Yeah, and one thing with a lot of events, a lot of clan battles is the forever pack is the way to go every time, and I absolutely
Right.
hate that.
Even the forever pack, I don't think you need to spend a lot of money. You just need to be patient. So, like, you can spend, update day, give yourself, I give myself a limit. So you spend up to 600 Robux.
I thought you were gonna say
Stop.
six hundred
Wo-
dollars.
No, no, no. Reset, wait for reset, and then go back, spend, another 200. Like, I give myself an overall budget for the
Hmm.
week that I'm willing to spend, and then I break it down into days. I'm kind of nerdy that way. I
Yeah,
could
I'm
break
the
it down
same way.
into days of how much I am willing to spend, um, total, and then per day this much, so that every day I can get some boost. Every day I can get, rather than try to go all in, which is
Hmm.
hard not to do, as anyone knows who's done the Forever Pack.
Yeah, I've gone
Oh,
all in on
especially when
forever
they
pack and
tease
gotten
you.
nothing. What was that?
Yeah, especially when they tease you and you can
Hmm.
kind of see what's coming, but you can't really, and you're like, oh, what if it's that Titanic?
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing that makes people spend in the Forever Pack is when they see
Right,
other people get stuff for cheap on the
right,
Forever Pack.
absolutely. FOMO, that's like anything in life, the fear of missing out.
Yeah. If someone posts on Twitter, "Oh, look, I got a Rainbow Titanic for 600 Robux in a Forever Pack." I'm like, "All right, let me try it."
Yeah.
Let me try it. And then I don't even get a huge. I don't even think I've gotten a huge out of the Forever Pack in like two updates. I spend $20 a week on the Forever Pack. That's my limit. I spend no more than
Right.
$20. And because if I spend more than $20, I'm just gonna keep going and going and going. But
Yeah.
it's
Sorry, my kids were just telling me they're leaving in 2 minutes. Sorry about that.
no, it's all good. I really think the biggest advertiser for the Forever Pack is people posting what they get for cheap on Twitter or in
Right.
Discord.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Because if it
Yeah.
wasn't for those posts, I would barely ever spend any Robux on the Forever
Yeah. I
Pack.
just don't look, so I'm not tempted.
Um,
uh,
what do you think about the hype behind Bubblegum Simulator?
um, I never played the old one. I did play the new one a
Mm-hmm.
little bit, but not enough to have an opinion. For me, I prefer what I'm already playing. I'm not going to compare two games, but I do prefer what I'm already playing. It's fun. I don't have the history of the original one to really. I think the draw is a lot of nostalgia for people
Mm-hmm.
um, playing it right now, and I mean, it's doing very well. So they've done something right.
Yeah, they got 240,000 players right now, and a lot of people
Right.
are saying
Yeah.
it's the pet sim killer.
I don't believe any game is a killer.
Mm-hmm.
I think that developers just need to develop, and you know, I'm not gonna quit what I've invested in Pet Sim just because of this other game. I think people more are playing on alts from what I've seen from people around me. They
Mm-hmm.
go play that with an alt and they're still playing Pet Sims. So I don't think it's a killer. I don't, this is one thing I see a bit on Twitter and in the Roblox community that is just not me, is the, you know, communities trying to pit other developers and games against each other. I just feel there's enough space on the Roblox platform for everyone to do well.
Yeah.
And I wish there was more of that, more of that within the community and players, but it's just, I mean, it's a gaming community. It's
Mm-hmm.
is what it is. But yeah, I don't think any game needs to overtake another one. If they do, great. It kind of does keep you as a developer not taking for granted what you have. You have to keep developing. You have to keep putting into it. So competition's good.
Yeah, it keeps you on your toes, and
It's
it
healthy. Yeah.
it's something that big games hasn't really had much of,
Right.
because when it comes to simulators, big games is
Right.
the leader in it.
Oh,
But
absolutely.
I feel,
For many years. For many years.
yeah,
Yeah.
but I feel lately just a lot of people are just like, I don't even want to play this anymore. And I'm on the same boat.
Right.
I don't really want to play Pet Sim
Right.
anymore. It's just,
Right. I think people get bored of games in general. I mean, a lot of people are playing the same game. A lot of people. It's really hard to like. What can they do to make it not boring for you? It's a lot of
hmm
work to have to change, the gameplay, and I don't think there's an easy answer for them. I think that games have a lifespan in the sense that um, it kind of stabilizes the player base. It does
hmm
really well, the hype for a long time, but then it drops, but it kind of stays stable, and that's kind of where you end up being, type of thing. But it's really hard. Like they'd have to put a lot of work into changing things, which is why I think they probably instead of doing that with the original, the Pet Sim, why they did a whole new game. I mean,
hmm
it's pretty much the same amount of work.
and you
Yeah, I
also
know.
see them adding stuff from current popular games into their game.
Right. They're very big on trends.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
Yeah, they
Yeah, they're very big on trends. Yeah.
so my original nickname for Pet Simulator 99 is Event Simulator 15, because all we do is events now, and usually those
Right.
events you only have 15 pets. So I call it Event Simulator 15. So now it could be a trendy Event Simulator 15.
Right. It's funny.
Oh,
So many people ask me, why Bevarooni? Like, what's with the name? And I'm like, I gotta tell how this came about. So I'm not the only Rooney. So when we came to the Roblox platform and we were developing and decided to make RoPets live, the my player support and community team, um, I'm very big on one thing I identified is lots of people pretending to be staff or, developers of a game, or I
Mm-hmm.
wanted the community to feel at ease, and I wanted them to physically see that we're here, we're listening, we're kind of, so I'm like, what about Rooney, like a play on macaroni? Like, let's, kind of add that to the end. So I had them all, there's a bunch of them. I had them all add Rooney to the end of their actual name. So if I'm going to make them or ask them to do it, I'm going to do it too. So that's why I did
So I'll
it.
be
That's why I'm
Brumo Rooney if
Bevarooni.
I was to ever develop for you.
You would be which?
Brumo Rooney.
Yeah, Brumo Rooney. I kind of like that actually. Broom Rooney? No,
Bruni.
Rooney? Brumo Rooney? But like there's,
That's
and
like.
everyone knows them. That it's funny because people like to easily identify, people or things, and
Mm-hmm.
people call us the Roonies. Like there's Jenna Rooney, Aga Rooney, Hella Rooney. Like they literally call us the Roonies.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's fun. I like to have fun, and
That's
I have
that's
a
actually cool.
really, really good. Like I'm just very laid back and casual, and with my teams, even like they work hard, but we all work hard together. That's just how we are. The Rudies.
So with all the developers, is everybody are you all everybody friends and everything, or is
Well,
it
I
like
would say it's well, so our studio has, I think we're at 62 people.
62
Um,
people?
and I would Oh yeah, our studio. Oh yeah, we're a big studio.
Wow.
I would say that I've worked with at least a quarter of them over 18 years. So all the founders I worked with for
Mm-hmm.
18 years. My mini me, I call her Jenna Rooney. 18 years. Like there's just so
Wow.
many, and I think when you work together that long,
Mm-hmm.
you're more like like we're like a family. It's not like your typical, um, you know, stuffy
That's
job
that's
where
really
everyone
good.
just comes in, does their job. There's hierarchy. There's none of that. We're like a family. Like, okay, this needs to get done. Like, I do stuff that isn't even part of my job
Mm-hmm.
just because it just needs to get done. Let's all jump in. Like, I've been known to even jump on and answer support tickets if, say, one of our mobile game goes down and we suddenly have 4,000 tickets in the queue. It's 2 o'clock in the morning, and I have one agent on who's stressing out, trying to do their best. Like it's everyone just kind of jumps in. We
Mm-hmm.
we all have our jobs and our responsibilities, but none of us are above doing something else. So we all
Yeah.
just kind of. So yeah, it's nice.
That's good.
I I have been, I would never go work anywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
I I have been headhunted. It happens a lot in the industry, and offered more money. And that's not saying I don't make good money. I'm just saying that that doesn't matter to me. It means more that as a studio, we're more like a family than a
That's really
job,
good.
because that's why part of the big reason I love going to work every day. I love the people I work with. That doesn't
Mm-hmm.
mean we always agree. Nobody does. But yeah, it's nice. It's like having a family.
That's a beautiful thing. A lot of people, once they see a bigger dollar amount, it doesn't matter where they're going, as long as they're making that bigger dollar amount.
Right. Right. And it's just not me. I don't know. I have to enjoy what I'm doing, because if
Mm.
I don't, then it's a chore. I like waking up and looking forward to working. That sounds so, I mean, I don't always. I'm not going to say I always do, but it is. I think it's very important for anyone
Yeah.
that if you're going to develop, you want to develop, don't do, like even on Roblox, don't do it for the money. Do it because you're passionate about it. You want to learn.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do it because you want to try to make yourself rich. Although that's a nice part,
It's
and
a
of course
bonus.
you know, yeah, of course it's part of it, but that should not be your motivational driver.
Mm-hmm. So, what got into you, or what got into you? What got you into game development? Where did you start?
It was accidental. So I actually, and this is quite funny, I started in a gaming forum when I first had I think it's when I first had my twin boys.
Hmm.
My friend's like, hey, try out this game. And we were playing this game. And I just kind of started helping a lot, being helpful in the community. And this was way, way back. Like, there was no social media. There wasn't really communities. It was just forums and people going on and, you know, how forums were. Um, yeah, quite rabid.
Hmm.
And how did I, um, trying to remember, I got approached actually and asked if I wanted to help out with something. And I said, yeah, sure, why not? Like it was only part time because I had babies, right? And
Hmm.
then it just kind of went from there. I'm very fortunate that I had people believing in me.
Hmm.
At a time I didn't really believe in myself. And we all have those moments. And
Hmm.
it just kind of grew from there. And I'm very much, um, you know, I feel I've worked extremely hard to be where I am right now.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that people underestimate. Education, you can have 20 years of schooling on something.
Hmm.
It doesn't mean you're great at it.
Hmm.
Um, just that was my driver. I just learned. I did what I needed to do, and I didn't stop at what I was doing. It was, okay, what else can I learn? Like helping other people out. Let me learn from them. I don't have the answer, let me find it type thing. And just kind of pushing and creating um, my own way, which is kind of why the department I look over is community player support and social media. Way back, I pretty much built what that has become in gaming. And by that, I mean, like, I was one of the first people to, okay, we have all this feedback on the forum. Let's take it. Let's make reports. Let's, you know, not, uh, I just felt that in all games, studios, and, even console games, there's such a waste that is put into what your players are saying. And
Hmm.
I guess it's more about identifying what they really mean. Like, okay, someone says, I hate this, blah, blah, blah. Okay, but why do they hate it?
Hmm.
Don't take offense that they hate it. I mean, they don't like it, they don't like it. But you need to identify, what don't they like about it? And that's kind of how this all came about and why I am where I am today. Like, we as a studio very, very heavily design and implement based on community and players.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, that's where I am.
Yeah. With me, I always invite criticism. I love having criticism because then I'll know areas that
Right.
I'm
It,
not
it,
doing good in.
right. And you have to be able to take that. Where I draw a line is that constructive criticism. I
Hmm.
will stop what I'm doing for work and I will listen to you directly, but constructively.
Yeah.
Like swearing at me or telling me "f you" or something like that is not going to work with me personally.
Yeah. Same.
It's I'm not asking you to be all roses, but constructive feedback is, I don't like this. This is why.
Hmm.
But and I very much like to explain to people, like, okay, I get you want that, but this is why we can't do it.
Hmm.
Like, I like to give context that, that won't work. That can cause, the economy to do A, B, C, which we don't want to happen. That could cause people to be able to, you know, fill the economy themselves by doing A, B, C. Like there's always a reason why something can't be done, but I feel that not enough developers take the time to explain.
Mm-hmm.
why they're not doing something. It's just kind of left, and then your community is left to kind of think for themselves and make up their own theories, and it's like anything, negativity runs wild. So
Yeah. And that is actually something big for the big games developers.
right,
I've recently I just started telling them, like, speaking my mind, just telling them exactly how I feel. I've even told the developers directly that I do not enjoy the game anymore. I only play the game because I've invested so much into it. And
right,
I've given so many ideas. Like
right,
in the test server, we have an area where we could suggest updates, suggest anything for the game. We could suggest ideas for the game. And
right,
99% of those ideas that people put in there, none of them are acknowledged at all. There's no opinion from the developers or anything.
right,
And it makes me think, are they even checking? I stopped giving ideas to
right,
big games. And,
right,
if I get a good one, I'll give it to them. But, I really don't give ideas anymore because
right,
I get no feedback.
right.
And,
Yeah, it does go, acknowledgement goes a long way, whether you agree with their feedback or not. Yes,
mhm.
from anyone. Hmm.
And me giving suggestions for the past, what, 2 years now to big games is the biggest reason why I started developing my own game, is because, well, if nobody's taking my ideas, let me make a game with my own ideas, because I'm not gonna toot my own horn,
Right,
but I do come up with some great
right,
ideas. And
right.
so I'm like, might as well make my own game. I'm not making a simulator, everybody.
Ex-
It's not a simulator.
right, right. And I think it's also important to recognize that one person's gameplay is not another person's gameplay. That like the way we kind of do it on our mobile games is like all of our feedback is logged. Everyone's replied to who
Hmm.
contacts us. Like a 24-hour turnaround time. That's like a kind of that's like a it's usually a lot faster. But my cutoff is within 24 hours. Everyone is replied to. Period.
Yep.
Not just feedback, bugs, anything that comes in, and that's all our games.
Wow.
Um, but then from there, it's actually like that's not the end of the process. It's not like, oh, well, a CS agent read it, it's going nowhere else. From there, it all gets logged into a spreadsheet
Hmm.
of feedback and suggestions because you may not, in the moment as a developer, think it's a good fit or good idea or would work with your game.
Hmm.
But you need to be able to go back 3 months from now, that idea might work.
Yeah.
And it's also to kind of gauge how much of that feedback, like how many players are asking for this, what's the most popular feedback. So from there, I actually have my community managers, social media managers, do weekly reports for the games team of all
Hmm.
the top 10 feedback, top 10 suggestions, hot topics. Like it's very much a process, and maybe big games just isn't there yet. I do
Hmm.
feel they have improved a lot
Hmm.
on a lot of things, but maybe they're just not, the process isn't there in the back end yet. But yeah, it's very important. I get what you mean because, like you said, you get frustrated. You feel like you're not being heard,
Yeah.
even though you may be. You just don't know. You're left to wonder for yourself. Well, are they ignoring me? When it could be very simple that it won't work because of this, or great feedback, not now, but maybe down the road. Even telling someone
Yes.
that, is acknowledgement.
Yes, exactly. Just a simple response would be enough to be like,
Right,
all right, they know, I know they read it. I know they know
right,
about this idea, but it's just mute. There's nothing, no response at all, not
right.
even a reaction. And it's,
I
I
mean,
feel
the
like,
devs are probably super busy in their defense, but I
very.
mean, that's why it's important to have somebody who's not the developer
Mm-hmm.
in there doing. maybe collecting your feedback and, kind of owning that side and giving it to the developers. They don't have time to be reading and acknowledging. They don't, like,
Hmm.
that.
Yep.
But yeah, maybe they just putting somebody, to kind of manage that part of it would help
Yeah,
people
a
not feel like
community
it's their
manager.
own. Yeah.
They
Yeah.
like what's his name? I forgot his name. The community manager for big games,
I don't know.
the watermelon
I
guy.
don't even know who any of them are. Yeah.
I forgot his
Oh,
name.
Josh?
Yeah, Josh.
Oh, I don't know either. Yeah,
Yeah, he
I'm not sure if that's it. I
I always
remember a
wonder like
Josh
what
though.
does Josh even do? I thought he was a community
Yeah,
manager,
I
but
don't
where's
know.
the community management? It's
Yeah, I'm
there
not sure.
there's like even if I wasn't a tester, let's say I'm just a average player trying to get in contact with them, there's no response. And even in the if you go to make a ticket in their Discord, I think you can't even make a ticket. You have to email them or something.
Right.
And there's no response
Yeah,
on that.
so emails, there's not really any reason a developer should not be able to reply back to players. But I mean, I'll be honest, like Roblox itself makes it very difficult because you can't, like, for our in-game feedback,
Mm-hmm.
it's literally one way. It's a data issue because we can't get your data, your information. So
Mm-hmm.
it sends the feedback basically, but we can't reply.
Mm-hmm.
When it's in game, there's no way to reply. Where on our mobile games, just for contrary platform, on mobile, we literally have right in the game contact support. They click it and it pops up their email. They type whatever's wrong, they send it, and it literally gives us like all their info, their device, and
Mm-hmm.
everything that's needed so we can better help them. Yeah,
Would
it's,
that be something they
but
could
again,
script into a webhook?
Roblox can't. No, you can't do that on Roblox.
Mm.
You can't. It's a no go. So I mean, so that leaves a lot of people with Discord, and then even like we never used. I don't like the Discord support. It's again not very friendly for a developer to be able to keep track. We had an email for RoPets, and it worked. Like people just emailed. We just made sure it was, kind of plastered
Mm-hmm.
everywhere on social media and stuff, and where we'd let them know. And yeah, but
Yeah.
again, that's something Roblox is working on. The changes on Roblox just in the last 4 years since I've came are a lot. Like they are going in the right direction
Mm-hmm.
with a lot of stuff and making it way better, not just for the developers with tools and stuff, but the community also.
Yeah, the beta testing for Roblox Studio is always getting updated with new
Right,
features to try out.
right.
And
Yeah,
a lot of them are
yeah,
really
that's
exciting.
constant. Yeah, yeah,
One thing I don't like for the one of the beta testing is the AI material generator.
right.
I'm
I've
not
never used it.
I'm
Yeah,
not against it because it's AI. A lot of people are against AI and because
right,
it's, it literally is taking jobs.
right,
I'm against it because it is horrible.
right.
It is
I have
absolutely
not
horrible.
even touched. I think I did when it originally came out, the beta, but yeah, I'm old school.
Yeah.
I prefer old school of everything. Yeah.
Now with your development team, are even the textures you guys have is it made in house?
Oh yeah, we do everything. There is
Wow.
nothing we use from Roblox. Yeah,
I,
yeah.
so
That's the artist.
not even like third party assets or
No,
anything.
no, no, no,
Wow.
no. Oh, yeah. Everything is.
That's crazy.
us. Yeah.
A
Yeah.
100% development by the entire
Yes.
studio. Sound effects, all
Right.
that.
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
We
Even
pay.
music?
We have it produced for us. I think
Uh-huh.
we've used a couple near the end. We ended up using a couple of Roblox sounds,
Oh, okay.
but like Eternal Heroes, for the first game, we have a composer that does all our mobile games.
Mm-hmm.
They created the RoPets music,
Mm-hmm.
and then for Eternal Heroes, we had Be Slick do the
Okay.
music for us, and Power Hero was Be Slick, who
Okay.
is he's the big. I don't know if you know Be Slick, but he's amazing. He's been composing music for a lot of Roblox games for many years. Like he's done Shark Bite again, another contact through my friend, my good friend Simon, that is very
Mm.
helpful. But yeah, so if you need music for your game, you go to Be Slick.
All right. Yeah. Put me in
If you want your own music composed, yeah, I'll
send
put
me
you in contact with him. Yeah,
send me a contact. Yeah,
absolutely.
originally I was gonna have Che. He's a pet sim YouTuber streamer. I was originally gonna have him make the
Okay,
music for the game, but he's been MIA for like the last 6, 7 months.
right. Oh wow.
Yeah, I went on Twitter. I was like, does anybody know what happened to Che? He's not around. And then actually yesterday I was thinking
Right.
about him and I went to his Spotify. He makes really good music, and I went to his Spotify yesterday, and then I just started looking him up, and I saw he has a show scheduled because he's doing live shows, and he has a show scheduled next month or this month. So I'm pretty sure he's still alive, which is good. That gave me a huge relief.
Yeah.
But he's a
It's
good dude.
hard. I mean, you build these connections, on Roblox and
Mm-hmm.
community, and the people really do become friends. Like I've made a few, really, really good friends
Mm-hmm.
from the Roblox community, like Simon, Serenity, Shadow, Rob. Like there's just some that I if they just disappeared tomorrow, I would be heartbroken. Like,
Mm-hmm.
well, it's nice when games can bring people together like that, you
Yeah,
know.
a huge
Um,
example was Easy Now.
right, exactly. Yes,
That was a
exact example.
that was a huge heartbreak for
He
everybody
was,
connected to her.
for me, I mean, he played RoPet sometimes with um,
Lulu.
Gamer Mom, and yeah, and he was actually in my original Pet Sim 99 clan, Jules. He's still there. We never removed him. And my alt owns it, so that's still there, and Gamer Mom is still there. And, he was just such an underrated, um, positive addition, I feel, to the Pet Sim community. I
Hmm.
wish more people had got to know him, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
he was great.
I wish I would have got to know him better. Like, I just, didn't have the time. I knew him and we talked a few times and, we hung out a few times when he joined our game or, anything like that. But I mean, obviously wasn't super close to him, but, I wished I would have maybe
And
taken more time.
he was a big community builder. Like most of the
Absolutely.
friends I've met through him. And he
Right.
would always be friends with developers. And I
Right.
don't even know how he would get in contact with them. I try getting in contact with developers. I can't. And for him, it was just so easy. And I could see why, because he's a really easy person to talk to.
Right. And extremely intelligent.
Very.
Extremely intelligent. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and extremely funny too. Like, there was
Yes.
never a time you could have a boring conversation with him.
Right. Yeah.
He was,
Bat Tech, Gamer Mom all together was always a blast.
yeah.
Anytime I run into them where they were in the same place. Yeah.
Yeah, I still talk to Bat and Lulu every day. We have
Yeah,
a DM with some other friends, and we talk in there every
right.
day. And
Yeah, I don't
all
every
great
day,
people.
but I do sometimes.
Yeah, all great people that I've met through Easy.
Right.
And I met Easy through Tedwa.
Okay, yep.
Yeah, Tedwa needed to log into my account on PSX for a video. And it was
Right,
my account, Natty Blocks, and Easy now. And he put us all in one chat, and then rest is history. That's how I met Easy now.
right, right. I think I met him and Gamer Mom at the same time. I think they were in RoPets, and I
Mm-hmm.
just started talking to them, and I really like Gamer Mom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Again,
she's great.
another major underrated, person of the Roblox community with her content and stuff. She puts
Mm-hmm.
so much passion and work
Mm-hmm.
into not just her content, but in building a community. She's one of my favorites. I won't deny it. Yeah, like she's underrated. I wish that more people, again, Discovery for she deserves to be a huge, huge YouTuber, in my
Yep.
opinion.
Yes, I
Again,
agree.
my opinion, but
I tried getting her on here. She doesn't want to. I tell her like
yeah.
every other week, podcast, podcast.
Yeah. But yeah, I actually made her. So I had seen. I didn't even answer your question, but that's how I met her and Easy was in RoPets, and
Mm-hmm.
then a few times, and I just loved the way she was in my community. So for us, our partners, influencers, were not based on numbers.
Mm-hmm.
It was people who were helpful and kind of fit in our vibe of the community of being kind and helpful, and it didn't matter whether you had 300 subscribers or we had some that my good friend Gamer Chad,
Mm-hmm.
over 2 million subscribers now. It didn't matter to us. That's kind of our rule. And I think at the time Gamer Mom had like a couple hundred subs. I don't even remember now,
Mm-hmm.
but it was low, and I was like, you need to become like this a part of my community, like.
Yeah,
And
she's
she
great.
did. So yeah. And to this day, she still, when we talk sometimes, she asks about RoPets. Like, it's nice. Yeah.
Does she know that it might be revived?
I don't remember. I don't remember.
If she
If she
doesn't,
read
I'm
my
gonna.
Twitter, definitely. I mean, I did say, when I announced that we weren't updating it anymore, like we're very communicative. There's a
Mm-hmm.
pinned post on my profile on Twitter that explains we're not updating it, but we're looking for. But that was like a while ago now. But
Yeah.
these things take time. It's not
Mm-hmm.
an overnight thing. Like, we because we make all of our own animations, all of our own assets, there's a lot of legalities. I mean, we own them, they're
Mm-hmm.
ours.
Yeah.
You don't just hand those over to somebody else and say, develop the game and, here you get all the money. Like, that's our IP.
I actually
So, yeah.
remember talking to you a while back for about tips on one of the features in Eternal Heroes. And I was like, "Can I borrow your scripter to write that for me?" You're like, "No."
That's funny.
Yeah, and I completely understood, and I was not sad about it at all. Well, I was sad
Right,
because I didn't get your scripter, but I
right,
completely understood. But the feature that I did ask for, we ended up getting in the game. It's probably nowhere
nice.
near as good as yours, but it's
Right.
just it's a back end feature for everybody wanting to know. It's nothing to do with the actual gameplay of their game. It's just a back end feature. Um, but
Keep saying nice a lot, but you know why that is? I'm going to be completely honest right now. I'm trying very consciously not to say a all the time because I'm Canadian, eh?
oh, be
I'm
yourself. It's
like,
fine.
I'm thinking about it. I'm like, no, no, like, I do this on my conference calls. So, like, because they're based in the UK, like, I'm literally doing conference calls at
Hmm.
like 4:30, first thing in the morning. And it's funny. I remember my very first conference call because I was like, I can understand. This was many years ago, obviously. I
Hmm.
couldn't understand a word they were saying. They were speaking English, but it was British English.
Oh
And
wow.
now I sometimes, like, I find myself, because I hear it so much, I sometimes repeat, words that they use, or especially when I go there, for two
Hmm.
weeks or more, and then I come back and my family's like, "Why are you talking with a British accent?" kind of, and I'm like, "What do you mean?" I'm not, but to them I am, and yeah, they think I have an accent, and I think they have an accent, so it's quite fun.
Honestly, if you would have never said anything about, having the Canadian accent, I wouldn't have been able to tell.
Good. Not that I mind being Canadian, but
But you
it's
could,
kind of a stereotype that we say "a" all the time when we
yeah.
don't. Maybe sometimes, but it's not.
Like,
Not, and I don't live in an igloo either. I actually have a
mhm.
house.
Like when I've heard Rickson talk, he's the creator of Cosmic Values. When I heard him
Yeah.
talk the first time, I was like, yeah, you're Canadian.
Oh, is he Canadian? I never knew
Yeah,
that.
he's
Yeah,
Canadian. Yeah, I knew
right.
instantly the moment he started talking. I'm like, yeah, he's Canadian.
Is he French Canadian though? Because like I'm not. Well, I shouldn't say it. I'm not. My kids went to graduated with dual diplomas in French and English. They went to a
Hmm.
French immersion school, but where I'm from, which is Manitoba, Winnipeg, Winterpeg, we call it, because we get to minus 48 Celsius sometimes in winter, but there's not a huge French population. Where east eastern Canada, you can really tell they're Canadian because they have that French accent.
Hmm.
Do you know
I,
where he's from?
I do not. I do
Oh
not.
yeah,
I'm
he
not a kind of
probably
person
is.
that asks.
Oh no, no, I just wasn't sure if you had any idea if he was like Toronto, Ontario, or anything like that. But yeah,
Yeah, he is he doesn't have like a strong Canadian accent.
oh,
He
okay,
it's
just
so
slight.
I wouldn't say he would be from an area that does French Canadian.
Oh,
Um,
okay,
Probably in the middle, maybe,
yeah.
where you
That's where
interact
I
with both
am, smack
sides.
in the middle. Hey, maybe he's my neighbor. I should
Maybe.
knock and ask. I'm just kidding. No, it's my parents actually live next door. They have a house next door. So I know it's not him.
So you said your parents live next door. Where do your parents what did they say when you first started getting into the whole gaming industry?
They don't understand it. They still don't.
Hmm.
I remember even my kids, like, I was so butthurt for many years because they literally would tell their friends, "What does your mom do? She plays video games all day." I'm like, yeah, no.
That's
Not
funny.
really what I do, but okay. And it still doesn't change much. It's very hard for people to understand that don't understand development,
Hmm.
what you actually do. Yeah.
So
I mean,
in
yeah,
development, what part of development are you?
it's so I don't have one core thing. I don't per se do coding. I
Hmm.
don't do modeling. I'm kind of the person who says, "This is here's all the feedback, here's the ideas, this is what we're doing, this is what I think we should do."
Hmm.
And then, I mean, put aside Roblox, because Roblox is a bit different. Like, I literally, like the Christmas update you played on Roblox,
Hmm.
that was me who designed the map and did
Wow.
all of that. I'm talking, on the mobile side.
Hmm.
I'm management. So like upper management. I don't do a lot of the hands-on,
Hmm.
to be honest.
Okay.
And then Roblox, is a little bit different. It's kind of, especially near the end, like um, Gamer Chad. I helped him with a game that he did just for fun called Pet Line. And I did a lot of, I did coding, I did
I remember that.
map design, I did a lot of different stuff. So it kind of varies the project to, I guess, my answer for you, because the platforms are totally different. what I do and my involvement.
Hmm. And how does it feel to have big games copy the Pet Line game for an update?
I don't know they copied. I'm not going to say they copied me. I will say that it's hard as a small. I mean, this was Chad's game. It was Chad's idea and Chad's
Hmm.
thing. It, it was a trend, and as much as it was like, oh, the timing is really bad.
Hmm.
I don't think they said, oh, let's copy them. I think there was a lot, like line games were popular at that time.
Hmm.
And Pet Sim is a pet game. So what other line game are they going to do?
Yeah.
It was just bad timing when Chad's game came out and their update at the same time that I think people felt that there was a copy. They may have seen something, but I don't know. I'm very, you'll notice, I'm not being evasive. I'm just very much don't like to assume anything because who
Hmm.
knows.
Yeah. You don't know the
But
full story.
yeah, I think that developers should take inspiration from other games, but I don't think copying, like, and this is not big games, this is as a whole. I think copying what another game is doing is just wrong. Like
Hmm.
it's not creative. It's not, take inspiration from it and make it your own
Yes.
is what I think maybe is the happy medium. It's hard on Roblox because a lot of people use their assets and stuff like that. So you see a lot of similar stuff
Hmm.
in games, and it's not that they've copied another game. It's that when you use the toolbox, everyone's using the toolbox,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
I'm
And
very diplomatic.
a lot of people, whenever a game comes out, or big games updates every week, and they will sometimes use something that's, most of the time they will use something that's trending on Roblox, like with Pets Go, the whole
Right.
clicker event that's going on right now. And a lot of people are just, they're upset. Oh, you copied this game. I forgot. What was it? It was Bubblegum Simulator. People were saying they were copying, or Rebirth
Okay.
Champions. People were saying they were
Right.
copying, but they did it in their own
Right.
way. Yeah, they took the idea but
Right.
did it in their own way. The Easter egg
Yeah,
hunt.
but did they take the idea? Where did it? This is kind of where the line for me because did they take the idea or did Bubblegum Simulator get the idea
Yeah.
somewhere too? Like, is it a trend and just one did it before the other? Like, it's very hard because with that mentality, then that's why people think we copied another big pet game on Roblox.
Hmm.
When you look at it, we absolutely didn't. So I guess, nah, it's the same, but who knows unless they
Yeah.
outright say.
Yeah,
Yes, I
and
did this. It's hard, yeah. But perception, right?
yeah.
Perception is reality to a lot of people. Yeah.
And a lot of people say that well, not a lot of people say it, but some people are saying that big games copied fish with the fishing. And it's just like
No,
they
fishing was no,
it's it,
no.
it's just fishing. It's not like, what other
Right,
way do you want people to fish in a game? You know,
right.
it's just
Right, and
crazy
I'm
sometimes.
sure you could take any Roblox game and go to a mobile platform and find a game with similar features that's been out a lot longer
Mm-hmm.
before Roblox even existed. It's any platform you
Yep.
find that. Like it's not specific to Roblox or mobile or there is a lot more like taking someone else's assets and stuff and you can even general ideas like it's all protected within reason when you develop on mobile
Mm-hmm.
like if someone copies your exact game ideology I mean you can do something about it um, where I think it's just not as strict on Roblox which is something that bothers me a little bit but they're getting better.
Yeah, it should definitely be protected. There should
Right.
not be Pet Simulator Z games.
Right,
And
right.
I,
Well, and yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I'm scared that someone will, end up copying the game that I'm currently developing and come out with a better
Right,
version. I'm actually kind of
right.
scared of that.
Right, and it might happen. It's very hard with Roblox because I think why it bothers me the most is a lot of kids don't know any different,
Mm-hmm.
and I see a lot of people commenting saying, "What's the big deal? What's the big deal?" It's like anything. You cannot profit off somebody else's IP
Yep.
and money. Like they've put money into this investment to build the brand in general,
Mm-hmm.
which is why it's all copyrighted. It's not free for someone unless they make it open. Some IPs have chosen to go, open source many years later after they've made their billions. But you can't just take somebody else's work and make money profit off it. That's
Yeah.
the general way to explain it. And as kids, a lot of these young developers, I don't think they mean malice. And it's not just young developers that do it. I mean, there's other people. They just don't understand that because they see it. That's kind of how in the past there was a lot of similarities and people using other games assets and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They just don't understand that. No, you can't do that. I think we only had one case where somebody. It was very hard. Like I won't get into the details, but our back end, it was very hard for people to do anything malice in our game, like
Mm-hmm.
to exploit anything, because again, we developed very differently than most Roblox games,
Mm-hmm.
or even our back end. Um, I think I had one situation where I was like, when I first saw it, I was like, so like floored. I was like, what? What are they doing? Like, how do they think this is okay? Never our pets, because I don't think they could. And I actually I just went right to them and I'm like, you can't do this. And I explained why. I said, I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt to take it down. If
Mm-hmm.
you do not, then I will file a DMC,
Mm-hmm.
like a takedown order.
Yeah.
And, if that doesn't work, then I'll have to do what I have to do. Like as a developer, you have to protect your property.
Yep.
That's your investment. Um, yeah, yeah, that's a bit of a touchy one for me because I do see it a lot on Roblox.
What do you
And
suggest?
yeah,
What do you suggest as the first steps before launching a game for protection, other than like anti-cheat and all of that? I'm talking about like legal wise. Like, should people get a trademark, copyright, all that stuff?
it, it really varies per studio and per game and how much you want to put into it. There is actually a guy on Twitter, let me find him for you,
Mm-hmm.
who is extremely, he's a lawyer and
Mm-hmm.
he's been, I don't know if you've seen him, Adam Starr, I want to say.
No.
Um, he's extremely knowledgeable. Yeah, Adam Starr. So I actually suggest any developer to follow this guy. You will thank me
Mm-hmm.
afterwards. And his Twitter is very simple. It's Adam Starr, which is Starr lawyer,
Mm-hmm.
at Adam Star Lawyer. And he posts like videos. He explains situations like what's best to do with no cost. He gives advice. He's very helpful in the Roblox community. Then if you're ever in a situation where you feel you need a lawyer, that's like talk to him, tell him your game plans, what your end goal is with it, and he will advise you whether you should get copyright or anything like that. I just don't want to step into a realm of advising something that might not be the right idea for you.
Mm-hmm.
That's all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I.
I mean, as a developer, you just need to, make sure that your assets are not public, for one.
Mm-hmm.
Roblox has got a lot better with that too. With making it not so easy for people. Don't share your assets with people you don't trust.
Mm-hmm.
Um, just do your checklist and protect yourself. If you see somebody has copied it, don't go right to a takedown order. Try to reach out to them yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It may just be a kid who has no idea. Give them
Yeah.
I like to give people the benefit of the doubt and then just kind of go from there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so like I've seen a lot of people get entire games taken down just because they had something similar to like a pet in Pet Simulator. Like,
Right.
and then there was the whole thing with it was a, pretty much one-on-one copy, but Telanthrics game, Toilet Tower Defense, his game got taken down for a good while by
Right.
the creator of Skibbity Toilet. And
Right.
I don't know if I can't say the guy's name because his name is kind of has a swear word in there,
Right.
but I
Right.
don't
Yeah,
know.
don't don't.
I don't know if he went to
Uh-huh.
Telanthric
Exactly.
first,
Right.
and
It
go ahead.
as a business, yeah, most are not going to.
Yeah,
It's very hard, or they usually do. They reach out, and if there's no response, then they go right to a takedown.
yeah,
Because I mean, they have to protect their property, and
mm-hmm,
you just can't use other people's IPs in your game. Like,
mm-hmm,
it's not worth it in the end. It's not.
yeah,
I mean,
and
you could get yourself into a really big lawsuit. So I always suggest like it's not worth it. It's not worth the little bit of money you're going to make trying to benefit off somebody else's IP in a short amount of time. That to take that gamble, that long term, it's going to cost you a lot more, very possibly.
yeah, a lot of games get taken down because of having blocky pets in their game, so they've resulted to the you know rounded cube pets.
Right.
And, Pet Simulator isn't the first game to make blocky pets, but they're
No,
taking down a bunch of other games.
I think that's just a moderation issue. I remember reading some of all that, and I think that it was much deeper than I saw the community's perception was that it was a block, a
Hmm.
square, and I think there was more to that than the takedown being because it's a square pet. And again, this goes to communication. I know big
Hmm.
games didn't communicate or say anything and left everyone just to think what they want, and that's kind of what it became. And I
Hmm.
mean, I may be wrong, and maybe I'm way off, but I just feel like for takedowns, there was more to it than just being a school. I mean, that's just silly. Anyone can make a block. No one owns a block, right? No one owns a square. So again, I'm just giving the benefit of the doubt. That's how I perceived it. Is there's just more to it than it's a square.
Hmm.
But because big games isn't saying anything, this is what people think and have made it into.
And
Kind of made their
communication is
own
always
story.
key.
Yeah, if you haven't noticed, I keep saying the word communication. I'm
Hmm.
huge on that. I feel it solves a lot of things.
Yes.
I mean, you don't, there's things you would never want, you don't publicly tell the community about your back end stuff and stuff like that. But
Hmm.
anything that, like that, I mean, I think it's worth, saying something is better than saying nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's one thing I want to focus on with our game after it launches is communication, letting everybody know like why this reset happened and
Right.
letting everybody know that like we also have well I have plans for like voting. Should this be buffed? Should this be nerfed? Should we do this for
Right.
the next update? Would you guys like this in the game? Just
Yeah.
get the public opinion.
Right. It's good to get that feedback. Definitely. Polls are good, but don't box your, my advice would be don't box yourself on just relying on like guaranteeing the high,
Hmm.
like never say something like the highest likes is what we do next, because that may be wrong. And you probably know this, but for those listening that, maybe not, I'm just giving more context. You never box yourself in like that. It's kind
Hmm.
of, to me, it's a part of the puzzle
Yeah.
to collecting feedback and listening and deciding what you're going to do. But you should never box yourself in because you could really hurt your game
Hmm.
by agreeing. Because not everyone has social media, not everyone's on Discord, not all your players are, going to be able to vote and have an input. It's kind of
Oh, it's
taking
gonna be
from
in
all your
game.
sources. Oh, in game, yeah.
Yeah, it'll
It's
be in
kind of
game.
taking from all your sources and feedback and, putting it all together and then making a decision based on all of it, all
Hmm.
the puzzle pieces.
Yeah.
I think you're going to do well. Like, I haven't even seen the game, but I think that you have a very good understanding of the community part, which a lot of new developers, and I know you're not new, I know you have experience though, for those listening. I just mean for your first Roblox game, there we
Hmm.
go. New as a Roblox developer, I think that you having that alone is going to be a big win for you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's
You're welcome.
one of the big advantages for me personally would be that I've built a small community, and also I'm very in the community of Roblox, not just Pet Simulator, but just Roblox in general. I'm big in the not big. I'm not saying I'm famous or anything, but I'm like me myself. To me, I'm big in the community. I like talking to people,
Right.
and
Yeah.
I know a lot of people who are big in the community as well, and
Right.
that's a huge advantage for development. And a lot of people do
Right.
say build community first before launching a
Right.
game. And
Right.
that was not at all my intention when I started community building. I just, we started a YouTube
It
channel
was natural.
because
Yeah.
COVID happened and we were trying to like play with our kids on Roblox, and then one day I'm just like, why
Right.
don't we start a YouTube channel?
Why not? Right.
Yeah. And
Go ahead. Sorry.
no,
You
go
go
ahead. Go
first.
ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that just reminded me that another very important tip or piece to the puzzle is play other developers' games. Like
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of developers that follow me, and I follow them on Twitter. And anytime they have a new game, like I tweet, like I'll retweet them, or
Mm-hmm.
I'll go and play it immediately. Like I jump in, I play. It's very important that on Roblox specifically that I think that developers support each other rather than work
Yes.
against each other. Like,
Yes.
it's great for the platform. It's great for everyone. Um, let's just kind of
Don't
help
see it
each
as
other
a
out.
competition.
Right, right. It's never competition. Right.
Everybody
And
should
there's
be
enough
friends.
room. Yeah. Even if a game is almost the exact same thing, there's enough room on this platform for everyone to kind of, learn and, find their player base. And
Mm-hmm.
what but people, that's the good thing about Roblox. I know people who have tons of alts, like they can play both games,
Yep. Yep, that's me right now.
and
I have my laptop running games. I have my computer running games in the background.
oh, I struggle. Pets. I can only play one at a time. I sometimes will go on my Trading Plaza alt. That's what I play other games on
Mm-hmm.
because when I'm away from keyboard grinding and Pet Sim. Um, yeah. Oh, they would have just changed the pets, by the way. Just reminding you, leaderboard pets.
Oh, they did? Yeah,
Yeah, it's 11.
yeah, I'm not really
You're not playing.
I'm playing. Wait, did he
Is
take
the
my huge
missus?
out?
Yeah,
Oh, she's into it. She's really into it.
yeah,
She always is into grinding for the leaderboard and trying to,
right.
make the best team, make the best loadout. She's always trying to get up there. But this time she's just going for top 1,000. Last time she got number 10. She got number 10 on the race. Last time I got number 13. And
Nice.
she goes all in. She'll sell all of her Titanics to get one Titanic. And
That's cute.
I'll be honest, I do get upset with her sometimes. I'm like, just maintain. Stop going so hard. Just maintain. Don't go all in. And she's like, I don't care.
Uh, Good luck. Good luck.
So, do you have any suggestions for someone that is wanting to get into development? Like, they haven't even touched Studio yet, but they have an idea for a
Creator Hub.
game.
Creator
Creator
Hub.
Hub?
And YouTube. Yeah, there is so many very, very helpful YouTubers who are also developers who also make YouTube tutorials.
Mm-hmm.
You can find a tutorial with good explanations for almost anything you need to do on Roblox. But the Creator Hub, that's one of the things that Roblox has really put a lot more into. If you go to the Creator Hub, like there's how-to tutorials, there's information, and then networking, asking other developers. I don't know how many times I'd nudge Simon at the start, and I'm like, my God, why is this happening? Like, please help me out here.
Yeah.
And it's something simple. So, I would say that the networking part, but don't be afraid. Just kind of dive in and do it. You can't do any wrong.
Yeah, and
What's the worst that can happen?
I think that's a part for me that I lack. I know a lot of people. It's just that I'm very secretive about my project.
Right,
Like I have to fully trust you for you to know about the
right.
project. And
Absolutely. Yeah.
I would
Well, and you
say,
should be.
yeah,
Yeah.
I would say maybe 10 people know about the entire project that aren't involved in the development. Probably not even
Right.
10. And I'm very secretive about that. And, if I go and talk to another developer about the idea, it's a decent idea in my opinion. And if I talk to them about it, then, 2 months later, they got a game up before mine even comes
Right.
up.
Yeah, you can talk to them without giving them details. Like for me, it's more like this is the bug, this is what's happening.
Mm,
Why is this happening? Where can I find the info on it? Like, you know, other developers might not have an answer, but they usually can steer you in the right direction. So I
hmm.
guess I'm inviting you to nudge me all the time. I'm giving you permission. And if
All
I don't
right.
know, I'll get you the answer.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I'll be bugging
Of
you at
course.
least once a week now.
Maybe. Maybe I'll answer. I'm just kidding.
All right. Is there anything
Um,
else you wanted to tell everybody?
no, I was a bit I don't know what the word is. Not hesitant. I don't normally do podcasts and stuff like that.
Hmm.
But I just want to give you a shout out because your approach was is very, I think, helpful to the Roblox community, and I hope
Thank you.
that out of this, that it's not me talking about myself and what I've done, like, which is why I referred back to a lot of suggestions and stuff to people, is that maybe people can learn from what I've learned,
Hmm.
and I appreciate that you even wanted me. So thank you very
No,
much,
no,
very
thank
very
you.
much. I
And
appreciate it.
I really appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule. I know you're very busy, and I really appreciate you taking the time to do this. And
No
it's
problem.
it's really helpful for the community. But for me personally, it's very, very helpful because I learn a lot. And a lot of the people that I interview, I'm somewhat in their uh
Circle.
yeah, not circle, but like I'm into what they do. Like, for example, I
Right.
interview Night Fox and I'm into YouTube. I interview you and I'm into game development. And not only am I learning, but the people listening are also learning. And I'm hoping someone that's listening right now is able to take some of the information they learn and be able to do something that they've dreamed
Exactly.
of doing.
Even if they take, exactly, you inspire one person, it's worth it.
Yep.
Which is, even with Chad, with his pet line game, like I didn't really have time to be doing that,
Hmm.
but I will help anybody who wants to, that it's a passion and they want to do something. Like I will drop what I can. I mean,
Hmm.
so what if I sleep an hour? And I see that in you too. Like it's all about, and people need to remember that this platform has a lot of kids, so
Hmm.
inspiring one kid could change their future
Hmm.
forever. Like,
Exactly.
never mind the adults, because I mean, not never mind is in they don't matter, but we know that, adults can learn from each other, but that sounded very
They're a
wrong.
lost cause.
But we already know that they help each other and, but it's kids like these 12, 13-year olds who are absolutely brilliant, by the way. You see
Hmm.
some of the stuff they're doing and they don't know which way to turn. Like if something you do can inspire one of them
Hmm.
to learn more or in the right direction, then kudos to you.
Thank you. And
Yeah,
that's what I hope to do. But thank you so much,
awesome. Can't wait to
Bevarooni.
play your game. You're welcome.
And
Thank you for having me.
I can't wait to play the revival of RoPets.
You can call me Bevy, by the way. That's what everyone, my nickname, everyone at work, like that's what I'm called. Most people don't call me Bevarooni, but
All right, I'm in the
I'm
circle
giving you
now.
permission. You can call me Bevy. You're in the circle. I don't know if you should run, cry, hide, or be happy. I'll let you figure that out for yourself. Thank
Uh,
you so much.
all right, thank you, and thank
All
you
right.
everybody
Have
for
a great day.
listening.
You're welcome.
Bye,
Yeah.
everybody.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.